You know, how do you feel, you know, as someone that's been banging since 10 years old, how do you feel when someone who's rich and successful, that's never been around gangs before, decides in their mid-20s or so forth to start affiliating themselves with gangs?
Well, a few weeks ago on my other channel, Doug put a comment on my video and he said something, he mentioned something that I never heard of before called the Smith-Month Act. This is his comment. Doug said the Smith-Month Act was the best thing for politicians and it was the worst thing for us citizens. But before I replied, I needed to know what that was. So I went and I found the act, skimmed through it a little bit, and I replied to Doug and I said, I never heard of that until you said it. And I looked through it a bit, and so far, it looks like an act to keep up good appearances, even if the situations are actually ugly. Doug replies and says, you got it. Now, the Smith-Month Act is basically where the United States goes around making sure it looks good before the world, covering up dirt and whatnot. And there is a danger, a negative in only trying to portray goodness and purity and productivity. There's a detrimental element in covering up the ugly truth.
Thank you, baby.
GDK.
Let me start off by saying this. Some things you just don't get to have. Now, we could want things. I'm sure we all want things that we know we'll never be able to have. Or we might want things that we are highly unlikely to be able to have. And I said that because there's this silly notion that people have where they believe that only one thing should exist or only one side of reality should be seen. And I'll get back to that later after I read these few things to y'all. Okay, this is from Merriam-Webster. 1. The customary beliefs, social forms, and material traits of a racial, religious, or social group. Another one. The characteristic features of everyday existence, such as diversions or a way of life shared by people in a place or time. Here's another one. The set of shared attitudes, values, goals, and practices that characterizes an institution or organization. Here's another one. A corporate culture focused on the bottom line. Here's another one. The set of values, conventions, or social practices associated with a particular field, activity, or societal characteristic. And the list goes on. Those were the definitions of culture. And nowhere in any of those definitions, even the ones that I didn't read, does it say anything about good, bad, positive, or negative. And I bring that up like some things you don't get to have, because there are people who have convinced themselves that if something is what they consider to be negative, then it's not culture.
Wrong.
Some people tell themselves that if it's bad, then it's not part of black culture. Right? And really, there is no such people that only has one culture. People have various cultures among that people. Cannibalism is culture. Among a group of people, the culture could be rape, robbery, and murder. Just as a culture among people could be food, styles of dress, or language.
Look at it. I said, hot damn, look at it.
Tattoos all over your body is culture. War is culture. And really, what's negative or positive is almost always a matter of opinion. That's why we see T.I.'s son trying to live something that he really don't know too much about.
That's the baby boy, go baby. That's my baby boy, go baby. That's my baby boy, go baby.
Or like Puff Daddy's son saying something that could get him killed. Other people are dead behind saying that. 3 letters, GDK. It's people that's not here no more behind that. Something that takes less than a second to say got people gone from here. They not here no more. And some folks don't think that culture should be, some people don't think that that culture should be attractive to some people, like T.I.'s son. Now, I understand the part of it being stupid, but why people would be attracted to that is another thing that I understand about it too.
That's never been around gangs before decides in their mid-20s or so forth to start affiliating themselves with gangs.
Well,
I feel it has to either be a psychological defect.
There are people that have really convinced themselves that black people should be this oddity among humans that don't gravitate towards ill behavior. Meanwhile, everybody else do that. Every people, and I did not say every individual, I said every people immortalizes people, places, and things that are considered to be dangerous, degenerate, gangster, dictators, serial rapists, thieves. All of them get put up on the big screen. They get written about, songs sang about them. Everybody do that. Statues erected of some of the most low-down individuals that ever existed. But folks still tell themselves that that shouldn't be the case with us. Like it's probably a clown listening right now telling themselves, yeah, other people do that, but we can't afford that. They can't afford that though. Shut up. People are always trying to find ways to tell themselves that we shouldn't display the same behaviors that are known to mankind. Some things you don't get to have. You don't get to have only, you don't only get to have what you see as the pristine side on display. You don't get to have that. No people gets to have that.
A psychological defect to where you don't want to enjoy your life and enjoy your wealth and, you know, ride around on boats and, you know, pop bottles and just you know, live a stress-free, you know, life as far as attracting unwanted attention and aggression upon yourself. Why would you want to be rich and start fighting people?
An example of where you don't get to have that. Here on Black YouTube, I call it, with all these different sectors and spheres and spaces. Even here, you have people that have convinced themselves that only one thing should exist. Like when BMT came up on D. Durrell's panel to question Auntie about his purge. And some of y'all know what the purge is. It's basically where people meet up to fight on there. And I've seen people from almost everywhere show up to the purge to fight each other. And I'll have that in the description box and timestamp that confrontation where BMT came up on the panel being his usual fake self, trying to make people think that he's above the fuckery. But Auntie even asked him, if you're so above it and you're so better than it, then why do I always see you in it and around it?
That boy is good.
Auntie even asked BMT, how are you always able to talk about what happened if you wasn't around to always know what be happening? And on the comment board of that thing with BMT and Auntie, I said, where do people get the unrealistic idea in their heads that life should only consist of education, empowerment, and positivity? I said entertainment is an essential part of life and combat is included in that. Every people engage in combat as a form of entertainment. Even tribes that live out in the wilderness will fight for fun. People who don't like the shenanigans needs to go to the non-shenanigans sector and stay there. That's what I said on the comment board. Here go about 2 minutes of that interaction on that panel.
Okay? But you watch it too. So you with the shit too, bro. Don't come at me with that,
watching your shit. You be surprised when I come over. Like, stop.
Actually,
you do, like, bro, no, don't.
You said it yourself. You still
I literally give you that. Hold on, wait, I let you rock. I give you that kind of amnesty of respect when I say, hey, y'all, go over there and check out Auntie. You go over to other people's channels and they give you that leniency of, hey, y'all go check out Auntie. Go check out Auntie. We give you that. Don't try to say like everybody doing the fuckery. I know plenty of people that don't be doing the fuck shit. You like the nigga shit. You was hanging around the bitches and the niggas that do the dirt. But don't try to make it seem like you actually go around the channels that actually do actual positive work. You don't be going around information, man. You don't ever go around the prophet of thought. You don't actually go around people that actually do work like goddamn
what are you talking about? I've been on all of those channels. I've been on all of those channels.
Yeah, you do know.
I was just on Underrated Darkness. I was just on Underrated Darkness the other day. Where were you?
Nigga, I talked to that nigga.
Yeah, that's the shit I like. Yeah, that's do I. And the same rules apply with people. Bro, the same rules apply with Steve. The same rules apply with Alonzo Hall. And the same rules apply with everybody that I
Alonzo Hall?
I don't know what the hell you talking about. Yeah.
So what you trying to say? Like, oh, the self-righteous. Like, ain't nobody even trying to put that shit out there.
Well, because you trying to put some shit onto other people as if you ain't with the shit too. That's why you be around. That's why you still in the space. That's why you even notice what's going on. Because you with the shit too. If you were so above it, you be away from it.
You do not have away from it, right? You don't have
you playing video games and shit.
One of the reasons people would gravitate towards certain things that are viewed as negative, dangerous, or detrimental is because life don't only consist of what you want it to be. One of the reasons people will gravitate towards those kinds of things is because the ones who have a problem with it can't whoop it. You can't whoop it, can't beat it, can't suppress it, and you most definitely can't outperform it. Man cannot live on bread alone. You know, that's the saying that comes from the Bible. And that means that life is not comprised of just this or just that, but rather life is comprised of a lot of different things.
I mean, I can't see somebody waking up one day and like, you know, okay, the Bentley's in the driveway, you know, a couple of mil in the bank. Well, let me go to the hood and get shot at. Let me go stand on the corner and get shot at. So people could say, oh man, that's a tough guy. People gonna say you stupid as, you know.
Man cannot live on bread alone means that it's some things that you just don't get to have. You could have that in your own life maybe, or maybe in your own house, or maybe even on your whole block. But for an entire people, you don't get to have that. Fun is part of life, and no matter the situation too. Prisoners of war, POWs in prison camps, not even knowing if they'll be executed that day, or not even knowing if they'll get fed that day, would still play games. Find some sticks and some rocks and play games in the dirt. Hopscotch or something.
Team ignorant nigga. It's some motherfucking gangsters.
Another thing pertaining to the cultures, another thing that makes things an issue, is like the exchange you heard with BMT and Auntie. Because some people think that certain sayings should never apply to them. Sayings like birds of a feather, lay down with dogs, you'll get fleas.
Wow.
Go to the barbershop enough times, you'll eventually get a haircut. You are what you eat, and all the other sayings in line with the ones that I mentioned.
It's me, I'm Slim. Face, Tradie, Dog, Mr.
Man, who you talking to?
Hey homie, I ain't here, homie. Don't be saying I'm here like that, low.
Excuse me, can you hold on for 1 second? I'll be right back.
Some people want to pretend that they're not here, even though they're sitting right there on the couch. Some people know they're here, but they'll delude themselves into thinking that they don't belong here.